Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, and I'm here to help you reach your potential as a leader and a human being. Welcome to Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes. Today, I'm talking about why to set goals collaboratively. Are you ready? Let's get started. Well, there are plenty of goals that we set in our lives, or we might set in our lives, or I might encourage you to set in our lives that are individual, of course. But today we're talking about team goals or organizational goals or the goals that you might have at work. And I'm talking to you as a leader, encouraging you to think about setting goals with your team or with individual team members collaboratively. But before we get to that, I want you to think about it as a team member, as an individual contributor, some point in your life. Have you ever had someone hand you a goal? And if that's ever happened to you, how did that feel? Did you feel much ownership of it? Did you feel like you really wanted to achieve it? How successful were you in achieving it? Now, when I worked in corporate America, I can remember goals being handed to me and said, here's your goal. And I would say, okay, but I had more questions than answers. You see, for us as leaders, it's easier to hand a goal to people. It takes less time. Here's your goal, right? But when we set goals collaboratively, we can get a lot of other great benefits that I'd like you to consider. Here are the reasons why I think you should set goals collaboratively. First of all, you'll get greater synergy. Now, if you're setting a goal across the team and everyone's involved in it, everyone understands it collectively together, and you'll get the synergy and the adrenaline that comes with it from everyone together. It's of great value. And if you're setting it just with another team member, there's much more synergy between the two of you. They're more likely to look to you for help with that goal because they know that that goal came together. Secondly, when we have collaborative goals, we have greater odds of alignment. Alignment to the bigger organizational picture. You could say, well, if I just give them the goal, of course it'll be aligned. Not necessarily. If we come to the goal together, the conversation that leads to the goal will help people see the why, understand how it fits into the bigger picture, and alignment to the organizational goals will be much more clear to both of you or to all of you. Next, collaborative goal setting gives you greater understanding. Now, I've said that a little bit already, but fundamentally, think about it this way. If I give you a goal, I gave you a goal. If we discuss it and come to it together, there's much more understanding that you have about everything around it, the context of it, the perspective of it. And even if I encouraged you to stretch a little bit further than you initially wanted to, you have greater understanding of the goal and its context. Next, you'll get greater commitment. This should be a mic drop right here. In fact, if I only could give you one reason, this would be the reason. I can hand you a goal and you might comply and say, okay, Kevin. But if we collaborate on the goal or on the target, the chances of you being committed to it are astronomically higher than if I just hand it to you. And lastly, because of all of the other factors, when goals are set collaboratively, appropriately, you'll have a greater chance of success. And after all, the only reason we're setting goals is to achieve them. So if we can do things that improve the odds of us reaching them, we ought to do that. Don't you think? So collaboratively setting goals can be, as I said before, about what you do with an individual or what you do across a team. However it's done, it will pay great dividends far beyond the time it will take you to set the goal with others. Let me close with today's tweet. When goals are set collaboratively, there will be greater understanding, alignment, and commitment to them, and a greater chance of success. You may be listening to this on the Remarkable Leadership Podcast, but if you're watching this somewhere else, you could join us for the Remarkable Leadership Podcast, which has more than just a replay of these episodes, but also conversations with expert leaders and leadership experts every week. I hope you'll take a look at remarkablepodcast.com and join us for future episodes there. Either way, I'll be back here with another episode next week of both Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast.